While white-collar criminals are hugely popular on TV and in movies, we need to realize the double standard that's punishing the poor for being poor while glorifying upper-class crimes. Crimes that often have more far-reaching consequences for the public. I'm Yoonj Kim, and this is MTV News Need to Know. White-collar criminals make up one of the hottest trends in pop culture right now, like Inventing Anna, a new Shonda Rhimes series about scammer Anna Delvey, which is the #1 show on Netflix. And some of the most anticipated upcoming shows are all about real fraudsters. Amanda Seyfried is starring as Elizabeth Holmes in The Dropout, Anne Hathaway and Jared Leto play the couple behind WeWork in We Crashed, and Joseph Gordon-Levitt will star as Uber CEO Travis Kalanick in Super Pumped. And it's clear that stories about corporate scammers have become a full-blown genre of TV and film. But our fascination with those who make grand-scale errors, that in some cases have cost lives and livelihoods, stands in harsh contrast with the unjust legal system that cracks down on low-income people just trying to get by. And it humanizes them in a way that most petty offenders don't have the privilege of being seen. And splashy white-collar crimes not only get the Hollywood treatment, but they often face extremely lenient consequences in court. A 2017 study reported that the majority of federal judges in white-collar cases sentence well below the fraud guideline of decades-long imprisonment. And this is in the US, the nation with the world's most prisoners, but of those incarcerated in America, nearly half are nonviolent drug offenders accused people held pre-trial because they cannot afford their bail, and others who have been arrested for failure to pay debts or fines for minor infractions. And this has less to do with the crimes committed and more to do with class bias. Petty crimes are cracked down on not only way more often, but also more harshly. For example, in 2019, Trump aide Paul Manafort was found guilty of a string of fraud charges, but was sentenced well below the suggested guideline range of 19.5 to 24 years. Civil rights attorney Scott Hetchinger compared the sentencing of the privileged white politician to a low-income young black man he was representing. For context on Manafort's 47 months in prison, my teenage client yesterday was offered 36 to 72 months in prison for stealing $100 worth of quarters from a residential laundry room. And just this week, the NYPD glorified the seizure of shoplifted items totaling $1,800 and claimed to have arrested 12 people involved. But the photo of the stolen items showed essential baby products, sparking viral outrage at the likelihood that they arrested parents in need instead of career criminals. Public defender Eliza Orlins tweeted, "The NYPD deleted this tweet, but the fact is, they proudly displayed having caught people who took diapers and cough medicine, basic necessities. This is not public safety. This is cruelty on display." And this happened in the Bronx, where the average income is around $18,000 a year, and the unemployment rate is high during a time of inflation. And nationally, over-policing of petty crimes exacerbates economic barriers for the arrested individual, especially if they're a person of color or living in poverty. Meanwhile, massive white-collar crime happens frequently with little public outrage or coverage and far greater negative impact. 10 million people die each year from pollution, but fossil fuel moguls are left unscathed. And as one Twitter user pointed out, retailers and news outlets have sensationalized shoplifting this past year. But this is a distraction from a far bigger problem, like the fact that Rite Aid has paid out settlements over the last decade of $56 million for wage theft. And that's just what got caught. So where's the show about that? It's a big deal that white-collar criminals get miniseries and movies made about them because it drums up empathy by showing the nuances of their cases and lives. It's a privilege. Where's the prestige TV series about a group of single working moms stealing diapers to support their kids? Or an in-depth look at the smash and grab robbers in California and the circumstances that led them to that? Perhaps if we had those perspectives, our society would have a better understanding of poverty instead of constantly criminalizing it. I'm Yoonj Kim, and that's what you need to know.